In a TikTok video that has been watched more than 6 million times, a licensed therapist listed signs that could be indicative of something called eldest daughter syndrome. Among them, an intense feeling of familial responsibility, people-pleasing tendencies, and resentment towards your siblings and parents. I had no idea. 3 sons. But eldest daughter syndrome? Is this really a thing? I went to the Google machine. It's a thing. So it occurred to me, who knows what people are thinking, holding down, repressing, afraid to discuss? And nowhere is that a thing more than when it comes to families, our parents, our children, ultimately conversations that touch upon our eventual demise. Do you find it difficult to speak to your family about the future, about dying? Do they have trouble speaking about that to you? The purpose of this video is to share 7 essential tips for starting an estate planning conversation with your family. I'm Daryl Rosen, a fiduciary wealth advisor and retirement expert. I love helping people plan and execute a successful retirement plan. So here's how this video is laid out. I'm going to start with the 5 most important benefits of an estate plan so you know why you should have one. Then a few reasons why people resist, and then I'll share those 7 tips with you. If you want to skip ahead to any of the tips, click on the chapters right below this video screen. Also, I'd love your feedback, so please comment where you see fit. If you like what I'm doing, smash that subscribe button. Estate planning gives you control over how your assets are distributed. It helps you create a plan in case you're incapacitated. It minimizes legal complications and delays, reduces taxes and other expenses, and last but not least, it gives you peace of mind. Knowing that you have a plan in place that protects your assets and provides for your loved ones can offer significant peace of mind. It assures that your legacy is preserved and that your final wishes are respected, no matter what happens. That should be a good feeling. Fortunately, people resist, and here's what I've been able to identify through my work with hundreds of different families. 3 reasons. Number 1, emotional discomfort. Talking about estate planning often involves confronting uncomfortable topics like death, incapacity, and the potential for family conflict. Many people find it distressing to consider and discuss their own mortality or the possibility of leaving loved ones behind, which can lead to avoidance of the topic altogether. Number 2, it's complex and potentially overwhelming. The legal and financial aspects of estate planning can be complex and daunting. People may feel overwhelmed by the decisions that need to be made and the legal jargon that's ultimately involved. This makes it easier to postpone or ignore the need for planning. And number 3, this is the big one. Fear of family conflict. The distribution of assets can lead to contentious situations among family members. Some individuals may avoid estate planning because they fear that it will expose or exacerbate underlying tensions within the family. This would ultimately lead to disputes and strained relationships. Well, we don't want any of that. The tips I'm going to share in this video will help you overcome these obstacles. So let's get to it. 7 tips for starting an estate planning conversation with your family. Tip number 1, choose the right moment. Timing matters a lot. Picking the right environment is all part of your preparation process. Imagine this. Have you ever tried having a serious chat when someone is busy or stressed? It's like talking about deep stuff at a loud concert. It's not great for understanding each other. But in the calm moments, there's room for listening and thinking. It sets the stage for better communication and respect. When you pick the perfect time to talk about something touchy, you're showing you care about their feelings. It shows you value the bond and want to handle tough stuff gently. This builds trust and makes future talks easier. When you wait for a calm moment, that means both sides are emotionally set. When emotions run high, talks can turn into fights. But in a peaceful moment, folks are more likely to talk calmly and openly. So choose the right moment. Tip 2, educate yourself first. I want you to understand the basics of estate planning before discussing it with your family. Here's a quick story about my clients, the Thompsons. They had always been a close-knit family, but when it came to estate planning, they found themselves at a loss. The mere mention of wills and inheritances brought out a wave of confusion and unease, but they wanted to tackle the task. I suggested that before they talked to their family, that they develop a higher level of comfort on the subject, not just to visit a lawyer without any education. So they embarked on a journey of research and education, diving into books and articles and workshops on estate planning. As they gained knowledge and understanding, the once mysterious topic began to unravel a little bit before their eyes. Now they were armed with a newfound clarity. The Thompsons gathered their family together for a conversation that was not only smooth but surprisingly uplifting. They couldn't answer every question, some were left for the attorney, but it was very productive. Because they followed the next tip, the family knew exactly where they were coming from. Tip number 3, start with your why. Remember earlier when I shared the benefits of estate planning? Use those 5 points here. Share why this is important to you. My suggestion is that you start with the financial reasons and move to the emotional. First, that you want to reduce taxes and decide how your assets will be distributed. Next, you want to make it easier for others to understand and administer your wishes if you become incapacitated. And finally, you want peace of mind knowing you have done all you can to minimize the chance of legal complications and delays, certainly while your family is absorbing your loss. That's why I paid a few bucks for my estate planning binder, because I love my family. Most of them. I'm kidding. I love all of my sons and my wife and my dog. But that was my reason for them. I want if something happens to me that they can call the law firm that created the binder. Arrange my funeral, call the law firm, perhaps even in that order. I jest, but in all humor is a kernel of truth. It's about what I want, but it's also about them. Tip number 4 is to be inclusive. To ensure everyone's voice is heard in estate planning, it's crucial to involve all relevant family members. This inclusive approach, highlighted in the role of family dynamics in estate planning, August 2022, this emphasizes the importance of considering the perspectives and interests of parents, children, and siblings alike. Imagine sitting around the kitchen table discussing the future and sorting through important documents. This isn't just paperwork. It's laying the groundwork for what comes next. If some family members are left out of these conversations, it could lead to misunderstandings and hurt feelings. By involving everyone, we're not just dividing assets, we're respecting each other's viewpoints and preventing potential conflicts down the road. Whether it's deciding who inherits what or who manages certain responsibilities, this inclusivity ensures clarity, unity, and peace of mind for everyone involved. Tip number 5 is use a professional as a catalyst or a buffer. Sometimes a little help, well, it can really help. Here's an example. My wife wants to go to Costa Rica. I don't want to go, but that's a story for a different video. Most people, when they go to a place like Costa Rica, they don't just book a ticket and go there. They do some research. Maybe they talk to a travel agent, hire a guide once they're there. They get some seasoned help. That's what financial advisors and estate planning attorneys are like when it comes to estate planning. Trusted guides who help families navigate the complexities of the process. Look, most families are juggling busy schedules and trying to plan for the future. When it comes to estate planning, though, they feel lost in a lush tropical rainforest like the ones you find in Costa Rica, as a matter of fact. That's when they turn to a financial advisor and an attorney for help. A competent professional with his or her expertise will create a safe space where most families feel comfortable expressing their concerns and asking questions. A seasoned pro will break down complex legal and financial concepts into digestible bites, making it easier for everyone to understand. And just like expert navigators, these professionals help families steer clear of potential conflicts or misunderstandings. They work to ensure that everyone's voice is heard and that the final estate plan reflects the family's values, goals, and priorities. Tip number 6 is focus on the benefits. Look, I know it's easy to mention peace of mind as an obvious benefit here, but let's dig a little deeper. How about family unity? Here's a story for you. My parents' friends are in their 80s and own a diverse portfolio comprising more than 20 different investment vehicles. Among their holdings are almost every asset class you can imagine and a few you can't. Their children, completely in the dark and not too happy about it. The father thought he would live forever, wasn't particularly healthy at the time, and wasn't forthcoming at all with any information. They knew in the midst of their day jobs and raising children that they would have to help their mother unwind everything when the father was no longer. It was a mess and there was friction. The father, well, he thought the inheritance would smooth things over in the end, but the children were beginning to resent him in the present. So the children initiated a conversation by focusing on the benefits. Family unity. It took some time, which leads us to my final tip. Be patient and receptive. Unfortunately, this is not a one and done thing. Being patient and receptive is key in navigating the estate planning journey. This is a process that evolves over time, often requiring multiple discussions and revisions along the way. Part of being patient is being willing to listen as much as you speak. I'd love you to approach each conversation with an open mind and readiness to hear others' perspectives. Just as you have valuable insights to share, so do your family members. Their input can provide valuable insights and considerations that you may not have thought of on your own. In the book Women with Money, author Jean Shatsky encourages readers to celebrate their achievements no matter how small. Whether it's creating a will, establishing a trust, or designating beneficiaries, each step in the estate planning process brings individuals closer to achieving their long-term objectives. Remember, estate planning isn't just about the technical aspects of distributing assets. It's also about understanding and respecting each other's wishes and concerns. By being patient and receptive, you create an environment where everyone feels heard and valued, ultimately leading to a more comprehensive and harmonious estate plan. So let's summarize. Estate planning gives you control over how your assets are distributed, helps you create a plan in case you become incapacitated, minimizes legal complications and delays. I firmly believe that knowing you have a plan in place that protects your assets and provides for your loved ones can offer significant peace of mind. It assures that your legacy is preserved and your final wishes are respected no matter what happens. That should be a good feeling. So keep in mind the following 7 essential tips for starting an estate planning conversation with your family. Number 1, we talked about choosing the right moment. Number 2, educating yourself first. 3, starting with your why. Tip 4, being inclusive. 5, using a professional as a catalyst or a buffer. 6, focusing on the benefits. And 7, being patient and receptive. So go ahead and take the first step, but don't delay having this crucial family discussion. Once you get started, motivation will take over. You'll love the peace of mind and the security that comes with having an estate plan in place. If you would, please share your experiences or tips in the comments section below. Throw any questions in there as well. If you want the name of the firm that did my estate plan, just let me know. Also, subscribe for more great content, and always, thanks for watching.